Remember back in the day when you taught me to live and I taught you to pray. We went in the battle together, no matter the weather, we never delayed.
Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian, and we are back for more Cloak and Dagger. Last episode, we got Connor's back. Well, he back from the Void Dimension place anyway. Because then he left the church and he ran away and left Tandy and Tyrone on the floor. They didn't go after him. So, well, they might go after him when we come back. I don't know how soon after we're going to pick up. Dark O'Reilly's still over there because Tandy broke the rules. Sorry, I missed that when I was watching. Yeah, she was supposed to go through it without using her powers. And if she did, then she'd be forced out, but she wouldn't be bringing O'Reilly. So would she be able to just go through? If it was just Tandy, would she just be able to go through on her own? Like, would she be able to leave whenever she wants to, going inside the void? I don't know how that would work for anybody else. If anybody else is allowed to leave, if it's just Tandy, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, Tyrone didn't have his powers when he went to go save his mom, so they had to leave the old-fashioned way, run. And then his mom hired a car. Then the kid that he saved the episode before showed up. Tyrone called O'Reilly, helped him out, got his mom to safety. And then the cops showed up, guns, armed to the teeth, essentially. They're wearing a SWAT uniform, pretty much. Don't like the chief. If that's her position. I think that's what she's supposed to be. I don't like her. Hope she gets canned soon. I don't really think she needs to be killed, but she needs to at least be fired. Hope we get Connors soon, because I feel bad for Tyrone. And I didn't know that his mom and dad were separated. I didn't catch that when I was watching it. I missed a lot of things apparently. A lot of kind of small-ish things. I try not to, but it's sometimes hard when you're taking notes. You're focusing and then excuses. But yeah, I didn't know that. It's kind of sad. I feel like, is it because I'm assuming it's because of the stress that between them, of dealing with Tyrone being on the run and stuff. I hope they'll get back together. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're going ahead and jump into the next episode.
He didn't see the roots he had tripped on till he had fallen, until he was on his knees. And that is how the farmer came face to face with a viper.
Uh-oh. Alright, Connors isn't gonna go down, apparently, so. Dang, she's short. Or at least that thing's up high.
Tyrone, you shouldn't be out in public like that.
Connors is back. I was thinking we could probably check all the places we know he goes and... Hey, you, me, and Tandy, we'll all go together. No? No what?
I can't.
The next time you get mad at me because I went out and did something on my own, remember this moment. I wish the other you were here.
Come on, Tyrone, look at her. Oh, I was gonna try to teleport to him, okay.
No one's ever seen a light that shines as bright as this, cease to exist.
Oh, that was cool.
Tyrone Johnson. I want to help you.
With what?
With putting me behind bars. When I chased you out of Dwayne's shop, you hopped the railing. I found your prints. And then used this to saw off the piece of railing used to beat Fuchs to death. Cut patterns will match. My DNA's all over it. With them and my confession, that it's almost enough to exonerate you and put me in jail. But not quite.
What the hell are you doing?
It was a waking nightmare. Me alone with my thoughts. All the things I said and done.
How naive do you think I am?
What? I don't think you...
You expect me to believe you changed? That you want to make things right?
I can't undo what I've done.
It's for goddamn sure.
I'm not here to try. I came out of it knowing what I need to do. Just stop as much of the suffering I've caused as I can. And that starts with you.
I want to give them the chance to stop the assholes who victimized them. Just a couple questions, nothing more.
Look, I know you want to help, but this is not appropriate.
Okay, well, is there anyone else that might have answers? That might know something, anything at all?
Son, what are you doing here? I told you to run as far as you can. Now come.
Yep.
Dad, don't.
Before you do something you may regret, you may want to hear what I have to say.
For some reason, he always sees the best in me. Expects me to be good.
It's almost enough. Not quite. When I murdered Billy, I was looking at prison. Disgrace, losing my badge. So I called my uncle. He spent an afternoon at Promenade Society, and after that...
In the afternoon.
You better pay attention.
She doesn't end up killing Connors. That would really kind of suck. Oh no.
The farmer made his decision. He reached out and picked up the Viper. He was gonna bring the Viper home.
He told me his uncle can clear me, but I gotta steal something first. So, thank God I know an honest-to-goodness thief.
Well, I don't know about honor or goodness type.
That woman's watching us.
In order for her to tell me more, I need to find some common ground.
So who am I? Your abusive boyfriend or your pimp?
I mean, either one will do.
So you called your black friend?
No, I called my best friend. Ty, come on, if it were you, you'd do the same thing.
No,
to
I
get
wouldn't
close.
use you or lie to you or break a promise to help you out.
I didn't break a promise. You cut me loose, and you didn't even need me.
You're right. Well, you've been acting maybe I don't need you at all.
Come on. For real?
My ex, he was everything to me. I would have done anything for him. And he took me up on that offer.
One of his big volume buyers was looking for a good time.
Eric asked me to deliver it. Seal the deal. Oh my God. No one to turn to. No one who would speak with me. So when he asked again, I said yes. And every time after that. Do you think he knew who was moving the drugs to sedate the stolen girls? He knows everybody. That's his thing.
What if he's lying? Then that gun he shot Billy with, it's gonna be the last thing he ever sees.
I think about it all the time.
Don't mind me. Just like hold on to them, don't even have to take them out, and then just poof out of there. Baby, I'm gone.
You want some of the key?
But you can't do that part alone. You're gonna need help.
Riley.
And you're also gonna have to create one hell of a distraction.
Uh-oh.
I'm sure that if a bomb threat were credible, we would have been notified.
Oh. Sorry.
I think you just were. Clock is ticking.
You better hurry.
Maybe throw it into his leg
The
so he
facility
can't
itself
grab
is
you.
big.
And yeah. Oh no! Grab. Oh, flashbang! Took me a second to figure out a stupid plan. Well, she didn't really have to close her eyes, I guess. Sorry, I messed up.
Within that special bottle should be all the information you need to clear yourself.
Uh-oh.
The Viper represents the worst in us. The Farmer represents the very best. You deserve this. You've earned this.
What are you talking about? I should have never trusted you. I should have never listened to anything you said.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You set me up, huh? Huh? The bottle was empty. You know why I didn't bring you here first? Why I brought you to my father? Because I knew if I was alone with you, I'd probably just kill you first.
Huh.
Just do it, kid. I'm ready for judgment.
No, that's not. I'm not the one who can judge you. There is someone who can.
Madre? Wait, Madre can help? She has the evidence? I'm gonna stop her from killing him, though?
There's someone you need to talk to.
Who? About what?
Make sure she don't got that gun on her, though.
About justice.
Sounds like a plan.
Son of a... Don't hit the table! But what's going on?
I suppose the best place to start is with a story. After all, who doesn't love a good story?
That's how they're targeted. Should I have known that? Why was that story that she told her even real? I don't know. It could have been still. But then why would she target other women? You think she would target men more than anything? Considering what he did to her. If that story is real, I don't. Tyrone. God damn, I don't know. I mean, he's connected to Tandy in some way, so maybe he'll know. I don't know. I mean, because he can like ping her or whatever, like teleport. He can I think it was some lock onto her and teleport to her whenever. He doesn't have to know where she is. He can just teleport to her. So, assuming that he can get to her, I just don't know how he would know. And he's gonna be occupied or distracted with what's going on here with Connors and now his mom is involved. God dang it! I hope he can get to her before something's done to her. But I feel like that they won't do that. I feel like maybe that they'll have her get saved, or maybe she can bust herself out. Because I mean, what's her face doesn't even know about her abilities. Will she be able to use her abilities if she's drugged up? I mean, she's been on drugs before and was able to use her abilities, right? She did them herself. Like she wasn't forced. She wasn't given them forcibly before. She took the drugs herself, and I think she was still able to use her power. She never tried, I don't think, when she was drugged up, but I'm pretty sure she could. So either way, she could bust herself out because they don't know about her and also her flashbang ability. They don't know about her abilities, period. So she could just bust herself out. Unfortunate thing is there's also guns, so she'd have to flashbang the whole building wherever that is. I don't know if they'd be taking her to the same building. Still trying to think as to what. I mean, obviously, we're probably gonna be told later on, like why the next episode or episodes after, why she's doing what she's doing. But it's just I can't. Thinking of like if it were to be based off of like her or what she had told Tandy about her ex, if that is what happened or they're actually together, I don't know. Unless she was always just like this. She may have, I don't. Maybe she's doing this for her boyfriend. Maybe she's still helping him. She's either in charge of that, working for him, or working with him. It's a joint thing, or it's I don't know. Maybe it's something I don't even know. I like that I didn't even think of probably. But on the other side of things with Tyrone, looks like it's gonna work out. So Connors actually wants to make up for everything he did. He wants to clear Tyrone and in his words, basically stop the suffering, like stop the suffering that of what he's caused, or at least make up for it. Not necessarily stop it, but make up for it. I think I said it last at the end of last episode. I was wondering if he was going to turn himself in, because he felt maybe he'd be safer, or to make up for what he did to Tyrone, just because of what he was doing and like this spending his time there. But I guess I didn't think I guess seeing it there was just stranger. Like he wasn't necessarily turning himself. Well, he's wanting to turn himself in, but he literally brought Tyrone, or was waiting for Tyrone, so that he could basically leave himself up and give himself as much evidence as he possibly can. The gun he used to kill his brother, the saw he used to cut the pipe that had his fingerprints in whenever he ran. I think the first time, when he killed Dwayne. It's been a bit already since that episode, I think, a few weeks. So I don't remember his name. He was only in there like a couple episodes. And he was trying to get him more evidence, I think, at least to keep himself from being put back away. Or not put back away, to be cleared again. But for some reason it's not there for some reason. Connors had no idea. He wasn't he was completely taken aback whenever Tyrone came and grabbed him. And the reason he brought them, I think it does a lot, obviously. I mean, we already know how Tyrone is, but it does a lot about his character that he brings him to his dad. Because he figured that if he was alone with Connors, he'd just straight up want to kill him. Or he would straight up go ahead and kill him. Not want to, because obviously he wants to, but that's just not who Tyrone is. But everybody has a breaking point. Some obviously it's further away than most, or than some. Some are, obviously breaking points are different. Is what I'm trying to say. But everybody has one. I don't know why it's so hard for me to articulate that. He was doing what he could to make sure he didn't reach that. But in trying to choke him out, maybe kill him, he tapped into his fear again and saw that he's fearing that he can't be put away. That he can't make up for what he's done, for his misdeeds, right? So that definitely, seeing his actual fear, seeing that, physically, it's a kind of physically for Tyrone anyway, proved to Tyrone that he was trying to do the right thing. Bringing Connors to his mom is smart choice. I mean, obviously she's been investigating, trying to do it, and she, aware of the legal aspects, I believe, like when she was working with Roxanne and whatnot. So she has some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some experience, I think, with working through those, experience dealing with crookedness, I believe. So I guess she's gonna, I don't know, because he says, I know someone who can, what exactly Tyrone said? I forgot. He said, I'm not the one to judge you, but I know someone who can. So this isn't necessarily to, I don't know. I thought maybe he was gonna. One of two things. Maybe his mom will know, or this is just like, okay, mom. So if you want to kill him, it's your choice. I don't. Not, but he also at the end said, someone you need to talk to. That we need to talk to. God dang it! It was just. Yeah, there's someone you need to talk to. And then he brings up Connors. About okay, I don't. I mean, his mom doesn't punch him at least. I'd be impressed. Dad punched him. Understanding. No, he didn't punch him. He was about to stab him in the eye. He threw him to the ground. He didn't punch him. Tyrone punched him a lot afterwards. I thought for a second that was like a speech, which it felt weird, just because, like, I mean, it was a good story. I like what I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I thought that, like, at the end when she was saying, toasting to Tyrone, I thought maybe it was like, okay, is this like a celebration for him being cleared, his name being cleared, and he's proved innocent. But no, she's having a dream, kind of, it seems. Let me get to it real quick. I always really enjoy how this show does like representation, visualizing, like connecting, either physically showing like a representation of I'm trying to think how to word this, of not an aspect. What's it called? Of I don't know how to explain it. My words are failing me as usual. But like for a very good example, obviously, or whenever they're in people's hopes or fears or both, like combined. One of the ones that stands out to me is whenever they went into, like, Tyrone and Tandy both went into Tandy's mom's memories, essentially, and there was the movie theater showing a happy memory of her and her husband. And then, lights go out, power goes out in the theater. Tandy goes up with her dagger and slices the tapestry. Tapestry? Not the tapestry. She slices it open, she steps through, it's all black and white, and it's like the real memory that's trying to be hidden away, trying to be paved over with fake or happier memory. Want for themselves, that the mom wanted for herself, and also so that something she could give Tandy to give her a better look at who her dad is. So that being a very prime example of how they do. I can't think of the stupid word. I know representation, but there's like another word that's like I know describes as better. If someone knows what I'm talking about, please let me know, because it's bugging the crap out of me. Whether it's physical things like that, or whenever they do stories, or they're telling a story, or they're what's the word I'm looking for? God dang it, narrating. Christ, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like before, I don't know if there was a part of I don't know if there was a scene or part before this particular moment, but whenever Tyrone was reading his physics homework and he was explaining, chaos and all that other stuff, something trying to be done to make something better. I don't exactly remember how he said it, but when he was explaining that, and it was also alluding to what Tandy was doing with, Michaela's boyfriend, trying to scare him, and also with Tyrone trying to, screw with the gangsters, take their drugs and their money, and give them to the cops. Both of them kind of making things worse, messing up work for the police that they've been working on for months. And Tandy causing Michaela to come back to her boyfriend and seeing him in a different light, seeing that he's vulnerable and that he needs her. So I like the way they kind of connect or represent things. Obviously, I have one word I can think of. And in this episode, they did that throughout the whole of the episode, not just in a specific scene, not just connecting to, or not just relaying to two different scenes, or pertaining to, I think is what I was going to say. Tyrone, not whether he could trust Connors or not, and Tandy, it was kind of a mixture of how dealing with Tyrone and dealing with her frustration with people feeling like that it's easy to choose, and also I'm assuming also kind of to trust whatever her lady's name is, I forgot, the bad lady, that we thought was good. I don't know, I just think it's done so well, like not necessarily heavy-handed, because I mean it's supposed to actually be in, like they're actually seeing it, or these people are telling a story, and whatever the Tandy that was telling a story isn't actually Tandy, it's like a dream she's having or something going on in her. Because it was basically starting over, which I kind of liked also how they did that. Yeah, I really enjoyed how they've done it. I like that it's carried over in this season too. Like I know sometimes they try it again, like they keep trying and it doesn't always work out the same way. But at least to my recollection, I really enjoyed every time they do that kind of a thing. Whenever she called him to make it seem like he was supposed to be her abusive ex-boyfriend or pimp, obviously Tyrone took it badly. For two reasons. One, obviously, he made it seem like, okay, so you call your black friend because a stereotypical thing, and she wasn't even thinking about it that way. It's her best friend, so she figured it'd be somebody who would help her out with this. But she also didn't tell him exactly. She was lying to him. She was using him, which is another thing he was pissed off about. That she had lied to him and was using him for her own gain. Like he might have been up for it. I mean, he might have said no, but he at least, if it would have given the opportunity to at least know what she's doing, and he's not necessarily, using him. They're working together on. They would be working together on that, so it would be part of the plan. But this way was, she was using him. He also kind of threw her, not necessarily threw her aside, but how they tend to collide too. There's friction often, because they have very different beliefs and thoughts on working on achieving their goals. Tyrone thinking that Dark O'Reilly is the way to go for taking down these girls. Tyrone saying that that she's just straight out murder. It's not the right way to go about this. It's not justice. And also she doesn't care. The fact that she doesn't care about collateral damage. Other things, obviously not just that specific thing. Just that's one thing that shows how different they are in that aspect. And they've also had very different lives, but also similarly challenging. One, Tyrone's black, so he has to deal with the prejudice of most people, and then obviously his brother was killed, so he had to deal with that and the fact that again he and his family are black. So it's not the only reason that it was covered up, obviously because Connors, but he had this uncle that's apparently, what was he? State senator. Yeesh. Yeah, state senator. So he was able to cover that up. He's got dirt on people, his monopoly file. So he was able to clear Connors. And then you're still to this day dealing with prejudice, not just from Connors or because of that, but just in general. And that leads to the whole thing with him thinking like that's this is why he called her to be to portray this character, her abusive ex or pimp, because of the fact that he's black. But her having a hard time because of her parents, both of them weren't great. Her mom was fine. She was only taking drugs because of the fact that when her dad was bringing down on them. But her dad wasn't a great parent, wasn't necessarily the best person. And then later on, because of what her mom was still doing drugs after her dad was killed, she wasn't really looking after her, so she was left to do things on her own. And throughout that, she went down the path of doing drugs as well as stealing and whatnot. So yeah, and she couldn't call what's his name? It's been a few minutes since we've seen the guy. I can't remember his name, which I thought is who she was going to ask for help in the first place, or not really ask. I didn't think she was gonna bring the lady. I thought she was just asking. I don't know. I wasn't sure what her plan was at that point. When she was talking to whatever her name is, Liam. Sorry, but yeah, that's what I thought she was talking about at the beginning. I wasn't sure what her plan was at that point. But maybe she's trying to get her trust, and that's by telling her the trouble she was having, or that she had before. just what you're saying, but I think she was using that backstory, but then using Ty as like obviously a fake for the lady to kind of give them some ground. I'm hoping the one dude, I don't think he is, but I'm hoping he's not in on it. The other guy, what's his name? God dang it. Sorry. I know 6.8 isn't a bad rating necessarily, but I don't see why it has such a low rating. I think the show is really well done. Andre, that's his name. Jesus. But yeah, I hope he's not in on it. I hope he just thinks that she's trying to help. Also, and that they're not working together. Just because the fact she's kind of, the only reason I'm thinking that is because he pointed her to Leah. Obviously, it could just be that's what he thinks she would help. Because he knows if either one or two things, the story, what she told Tandy is real, she just actually feels differently about it, about what her boyfriend, it's real with a slight difference, with some tweaks, maybe she's changed it, or it's a fake story and she told Andre as well, told him this story. Yeah, and I hope they're not in on it. Really hoping that's not the case. And you could tell definitely. Going back to the whole Tyrone Tandy part. Whenever he realized what she was doing, when he said I think he said basically that they're done. That broke her because she saw him as because they were, she saw him as her best friend, and kind of like essentially the only friend she has right now, the only like really close friend who knows who she really is. And he could see the good in her even when she was kind of more troubled. She feels she caused him pain as well. And then whenever Leah was telling Tandy her story, she felt even more ashamed that she brought this pain back to her that she thought was pain anyway. That Leah portrayed it as pain. So I also like that Tyrone's dad is remaking the Cloak. I hope that means like we're gonna get the Cloak back soon, and Tyrone can have his costume. This was a really cool cloak. And it was just like a cloak, and a cloak really isn't like super crazy, but it's a cool design for it. As simple as it is, even though it looks like it takes a long time to make because he's doing it by hand. But it's a cool cloak. It looked really cool whenever he would use the power and the kind of like effect when he would build it and stuff. And even it looks really cool whenever he does the shroud thing. I know it shrouds out anyway. Even when he had the jacket, it's still shrouded out. But it looked cool with the jacket, the cloak. I hope Tandy. I think because whenever she was talking to Leah at the very end before Leah screwed her over, she was saying that they need a fight to keep themselves away from these kind of people, to choose to fight, to choose to to leave them. So I'm hoping she more realized that it wasn't exactly easy for Tandy's mom. She did stay. I understand why she kind of got upset whenever she mentioned the doctor, because it does seem kind of. I think it might have just been coincidental that he was a doctor. I don't think they were like looking for the guy, but if she found him attractive, she found him attractive. I think it was just coincidental that he was a doctor. Although, yeah, like every time it's kind of. I understand why she got upset at that, because every time she's been with somebody, it's always been with somebody who's, well, we've only really seen the lawyer guy. We didn't see her other boyfriends that she's had before. But he had money. I don't know how much, but he had money, and then there was this doctor guy and her dad, working for Roxxon. Dealing with him all the years that he'd been meeting her, thinking that she kind of stayed with him because it was stable, financially speaking. But it was, the reason she didn't want to leave it obviously because she was scared for herself, because a lot of the times they're too scared to leave because they're worried that they'll hurt him more. They'll hurt them, that the abusive partner will hurt them more. And it's worse with the daughter in the mix because she's scared for her safety too. She wants to protect the daughter, and she wants Tandy to have a dad, and so she doesn't want to take that away from her either. So it's just kind of a lot of that. And when you're a parent, you have to a lot of times your main focus isn't your own safety. It's, you're a child. So she was looking out for them first and foremost. It's just Tandy's just dealing with a lot of frustration, and she can't see that. She doesn't quite understand that viewpoint of a parent. I mean, I'm not saying I do exactly, but I get why her mom didn't. But I'm sure I'm hoping that's kind of like Tandy realizing why her mom did what she did. If not, then I hope she at least understands soon, or by the end of this. Again, to the representation stuff, like I like again with the story, connecting with like saying how Connors is the Viper, Tyrone's the farmer. At least at that point, that's what it was seeming like. The farmer didn't want to kill the Viper because the snake was in an area that was too cold for it, and so it was like, I forgot what she said about the snake, but essentially saying that Connors, where he had been for so many months, had changed him, and he said himself, being alone with his thoughts and the fear made him like really look and realize what he had done, what kind of a person he was, and that pushed him to want to make up for the terrible pain he had caused so many people. Or at least O'Reilly and Tyrone. I don't know who else he's hurt, but I'm assuming he's messed with other people. I just like the constant with that. Like sometimes it would not just be Tyrone who's the farmer. It would kind of went like when it was, I forget what scene it was exactly, but it was showing Connors like this. It would sing the Viper, and then it was panning slowly, and then said farmer and landed on the dad. So I just kind of like what they do with this. Again, I know I've spoken about the representation already in this episode and constantly in other episodes, but it's just really well done in my opinion. I'm pretty sure they said, like in the episode where we find out with Mina explaining the whole splitting and the aggression in one, aggression, rage, and crap. I'm pretty sure that even O'Reilly said, she was saying I couldn't shoot. I thought that was in my head, but the split did something. I'm pretty sure I thought she was like realizing that she's not whole, but it seemed like she's thinking she's not. Well, she's technically not the same because she's separated, and so I'm pretty sure the fact that the split causes is what's causing her to not being able to shoot straight. So I don't know. Maybe she's just she does know that that's the case, but she just feels useless because of it. Because at the end, she didn't want to help find Connors because one, it seemed like she was scared. And also she felt like she's not the same, she's not strong enough, she's not able to even shoot right, so she feels that she wouldn't be of any help. But then she helped at the end, so it looks like she's coming around, or she just felt like she didn't have to do shooting there, didn't even have to help find Connor, then maybe she could help. She felt she was able to help here. Also, we saw the bit before where she was getting back to herself, dealing with the cards again. I was worried that she'd end up looking for Connors on her own, tell Tyrone, see him somehow, and then shoot him, which would be really bad. But that wasn't the case. Tyrone told her so. Well, I believe that's everything. Yeah, I think that's everything for this episode. Another really good episode. I'm just worried for Tandy. I really hope that she can either bust herself out or Tyrone will, for some reason, try looking for her. Usually when he needs her, he'll teleport to her, or he was also texting her trying to call her. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll think that she's upset with him or not wanting to talk with him or whatever if she doesn't answer. So I don't know. I hope that he teleports to her. I hope he can somehow see or feel at least that she's in danger because of this connection they have. Because it seems the powers. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be a connection between those powers. And the relationship that they're having, I don't know if it strengthens it, but I would hope that it would help at least. But yeah, I'm hoping that some reason he'll try to go to her, like teleport to her, and he'll be able to stop her if she's too drugged up to even think about using her abilities, or to be able to use her abilities, or somehow she gets out, if not by either their of their own merit. And I hope that we can. Next episode is only episode 6, so we still have about 4 episodes after next we have 5 episodes left. So if we can prove we have Connor willing to put himself away to prove Tyrone innocent, so hopefully we can do that by next episode. I don't know what. I mean, we have to deal with so much actually. Like, so we have to somehow figure out, how we can prove him without his uncle trying to bail him out again. We have to figure out how to save Tandy. How Tyrone's gonna he's gonna find out, or Tandy's gonna be able to do it herself. I'm hoping she can. We still have the thing with O'Reilly. Like, we have to go back somehow and get the dark side of her and put them back together somehow. I don't know how we're gonna do that, because I mean, it probably may have to do with experimentation of the energy or whatever that caused them to split in the first place, because Mina's doing experiments on the rats, and they've been able to replicate the process a few times now, so maybe now they have to work on putting them back together. The other one, she says that some other some of the other rats, when they split, they don't attack each other. I'm assuming that's what it is, because I mean, there's some, like, there was some in the middle that had killed each other. So there are some batches that they would kill and some that they wouldn't kill the other. So I'm wondering if she can somehow reverse the process, or work out a reverse engineer in a way, kind of. I don't know, like somehow work an antidote in some way, in another. I don't know. Hopefully, we need to be able to put them back together so that O'Reilly can be, a whole person again, and be able to do, feel whole. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, the reason she can't shoot is because they've been split, and then that side of her can shoot. So, I don't think it's just in her head. I'm thinking it's supposed to be, they've been split up, so actually her ability to shoot is completely gone. Yeah, we have a lot to work with, and not really. Only thing that's good is the thing with Connors. That's the only thing we have some bit of hope. We got a slight bit of light at the end of this tunnel. But guys, that's it for this week's episode for Cloak and Dagger. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to check out the rest of our stuff, go ahead and click the button right next to me. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, make sure to subscribe button. Or if you want to, go ahead and check out our Patreon, where you can see this next week's episode early. Again, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next week.